The Vergas Show is brought to you by Spanky Stone Hearth, casual fine dining on beautiful Rose Lake. Vergas State Bank, your locally owned community full-service bank. Vergas Event Center for gatherings large or small, including weddings. Vergas Liquor Store, where all the profits profit Vergas.
Make the right call. Call Hanson's, the most trusted name in plumbing and heating.
Hi, welcome to the Vergas Show. I'm Sherry Hanson. Thanks for joining me. We're in our second part. We're talking Vergas baseball. Doesn't get much better than that. I'm with Keith Minkowski, Jerry Johnson, Tony Saylor, and Scott Goodman. Thanks, guys, for joining me. Scott and Tony are part of the baseball committee, which is a subcommittee of the City of Vergas Park Board. Want to tell me a little bit about the dedication that we did for the baseball players?
We decided to have basically a Hall of Fame board made up, and we went through all the people and picked out 4 people right away, and then we had a write-in kind of for next 2, and hopefully we can keep doing this every year, have a couple people every year. And
that sounds good. And so on July 30th during Looney Days, we're honoring these guys. And thank you guys for joining me today. And thank you for taking the initiative to get something going for Vergas baseball. It just keeps it fresh. It keeps it alive. And it just makes sure that we honor those that put so much time and effort into it. Yeah, I appreciate that. So I'm with Jerry Johnson and with Keith Minkowski. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Yeah, thanks for joining me. Jerry, tell me a little bit about baseball in Vergas for you and your passion for it.
Well, I've always been interested in baseball. When I was 13 years old, I built a field in our yard, and was probably one of the nicer ones in Bemidji where I grew up. But I was principal in Elbow Lake, Minnesota, and Billy Richter stops by every week with his job he had at the time, and he was always talking about Vergas and the baseball team. And Kathy and I were looking for a resort, and Hoffman's had theirs open here, and we purchased that in 1974. And of course, I wanted to play ball, so Billy encouraged me to be here, and that's why I'm here.
That's why you're here. And then Jerry, you have maintained the field for a number of years, and it's just amazing that you've been able to do that. But it's just because you love Vergas baseball, right?
That and. After being a principal all those years, doing work like this, you mow, you look back, you see what you accomplished right away. You don't have to wait 20 years to see if your product was good. But there's people like you, Sherry, that do so much for this community, and I felt that's part I can do to help out. And so I enjoy taking care of the field, and I like the support, especially now that we can do some more things on it, that we have a committee. So, yeah, I feel proud about the field.
Well, you should, because it looks beautiful. Keith, tell me a little bit about your baseball experiences. And, I mean, you don't think of Vergas baseball without thinking about Keith Minkowski. So tell me how you think it's changed.
Well, I started playing for the Vergas Loons in 1969. I was a sophomore and started at shortstop, and like I said, I grew up with the Twins and really got to love the game. As far as here on the diamond, I remember when originally the outfield fence was all snow fence. The infield, of course, was dirt. And, well, if it rained, we'd bring the farm-all tractor down and the drag it over, and well, we played. But even just as far as some of the changes, we used to have 2 umpires, which we still are. No, I guess we actually are down to 1. But an umpire would go 4.5 innings, and then they'd switch as far as from behind the plate. And just different things of the game. The aluminum bats we used to use, and Fergus Falls was in our division, and we could never beat them because they would out-homer us. And then when we went to wooden bats, it equalized things, and we were able to successfully beat them several times. So, but usually we ended up second, not first. But we made it to the region many times. I know Vergas has been in the state tournament, I think 4 or 5 times. So we've come a long ways, got a new scoreboard, and I don't know, there are just many things that you look back on that that were quite challenging, but yet improved the game. And I guess the biggest thing I liked was all the fans that we had. They'd come early and stay late. I mean, the game was over. It was still a family event.
I imagine, Keith, because you went from a player to a coach, and some of the, not only your players, but the people that you coach, you still watch and follow them, correct?
Oh, yes, yeah. I was involved with the Vergas Loons for 42 years. And then my son took over as manager, and I guess I still run the scoreboard and did things. But, yeah, there's many times you work with a little leaguer and work them all up to amateur ball, and pretty soon they're playing high school ball or even college ball. So you could see a lot of advancement or how they were successful.
Jerry, your son played too, and then grandsons. Tell me a little bit about what that was like.
Well, it's always nice to have your family around and having them play on the same team. That was very, very good. I enjoyed that immensely, and now I have a grandson that's playing, and I'm following the same thing.
So tell me what you guys think about baseball in general. Like the guys were saying from the baseball committee, I remember, 200 some fans, and I know that's diminished a little bit. What's your theory on that, guys?
Well, my theory is baseball's for the players. And they should always be enjoying it, whether there's fans there or not fans there. But it sure adds when you have a bunch of fan base.
It does make a difference. How about you, Keith?
Well, I can say my family was very supportive as far as the pageantry of the game. They were in charge of Miss Vergas, and they had the Star Spangled Banner, and she usually sang the Star Spangled Banner and played music between innings and introduced the batters, and that all added to the game. It really made it more interesting, and people paid attention. It was fun.
They do. It's like when you go down to a Twins game. I mean, it's fun to watch you guys play, but it's really fun to see what's also all going on. So when the Vergas Baseball Committee contacted you guys and said that you're going to be two of the first, along with four others, on the board and as contributors and supporters and just benefactors of Vergas Baseball, how did that feel for you?
Well, I felt good about it, but there's a lot of people that have contributed that we don't recognize too, and I think that's the only thing I was concerned about.
Going forward, I think I heard them say that, I think this will just kind of get the ball going on that too. And how about you, Keith?
Well, I agree. There's many that could be on this list, but there's the potential that they will get there someday. I mean,
well, don't you think something like that, when you have when you set up the board and you've got those people, and then you let people know that going forward there are going to be others, just kind of drives a little bit more for other people to be able to do that. We're going to close out today. I want to thank you guys personally, because I know both of you have carted my children around for baseball, whether taking them to a game or whatever it was, and just encouraging them and coaching them. And so I can't think of two more people that deserve that honor more. And so I personally want to thank you. And I guess I'd just like to close it out with whatever closing thoughts you might have.
I have a memory here, lots of them, and that is all the players that I've played with are always special to me.
I guess one thing that I wish that Vergas had was a memorial place where we could put some pictures and baseballs, and I don't know where it would be, but it would be nice or fun to, just like at Scholes where they have that picture, a lot of people have, I know that one, and it would just bring back some of the old-time memories that I've been able to experience.
I love that. Okay, that's a project for us to start thinking about, a fundraising for some kind of a building to house all the memorabilia, because you would not get, you would be able to fill that building up very quickly, because as we started this morning before our interview, we were looking at pictures and talking about some of the old players, and yeah, Jerry's got a picture there of him and his sons, and Keith brought pictures of the teams, and you could pick them out, and that's what baseball is all about. It's fun to watch the good players, it's fun to go to the other towns, but it becomes a family, and Vergas has truly made it that way. So thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Keith. I appreciate you guys being here today.
All the things.
Okay, and you make sure that you come to Vergas on July 30th for that dedication. You have a good day in Vergas.